Good morning. This is Dane Jarvis, and I'm a life coach and motivational speaker. So today, what I want to share with you are the 3 essentials for success. 3 essentials for success. Whenever you think about somebody who's successful, there are certain things that they have in place in order to make it happen. Think of these as anchors. Think of these as essentials. Think of these as cornerstones for how they can be successful in life. But the thing of it is, and the toughest part about it is, not necessarily identifying what they are, but understanding and applying them in a meaningful, impactful, spectacular fashion that brings about daily success, achievements. Could be small, medium, or large. Okay, so we're not just talking about like stupendous change and amazing results, but we're talking about planting the seed and reaping the harvest. Okay, so each day, your daily diligence, your daily maintenance, you should put together a list of things that you need to focus on, but you need to have these 3 essentials in place. These 3 essentials are a must-have based upon my experience and within my career. So the first one is God. By having God in your life, you're able to experience abundancies that you never could without God. God tells us, Jesus talks about having a persistent, consistent, prayerful life, that it takes time in order to receive prayer. Think about the 40 days and 40 nights, John spending time in the woods, in the wilderness, and how horrible that was. But, through power of prayer and focus and perseverance, came out of the woods. Think about the Canaanite woman. She has a daughter. Daughter's sick. She goes to Jesus. Jesus didn't quite see her because he's kind of back here, right? Then she gets closer, and finally sees her. And she says, Jesus, my daughter's so sick. Can you help her? And with 1 hour, that daughter was cured. 1 hour. 1 hour. Okay? At the end of the day, put God in your life first. I want you to have a good prayer life. I want you to pick up a book on prayers or biblical motivations, or you can even look them up online. So we definitely do that. Also go to a Bible study or make a Bible study. There's plenty of them online, maybe in your community. You can also seek to be a part of a church and go to church and maybe part of the leadership or part of volunteering in whatever time, talent, treasure that you have. If you're awesome at cooking or baking, then help out in that way. If you're awesome with kids and sports, then help out that way. Ultimately, when we start with God as our number one, then everything else will flow nicely, because God wants us to put all of our weaknesses, our anxieties, our worries on him. When we're at our weakest, he is at his strongest, and we have to believe that. Consistency is so important. Remember, you're going to have your 3 essentials, but then within each of these, you're going to have different things that you do in your daily maintenance of things that you identify. Grit. Dr. Angela Duckworth out of University of Pennsylvania talks about grit, which is when passion and perseverance come together towards a long-term goal. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy said, we're going to send a man to the moon and return him home safely by the end of the decade. NASA engineers were like, President, we have no idea what you're talking about. Land on the moon? Are you nuts? This is crazy. The space race going on with the Russians. Ultimately, we did. We achieved that. So the passion towards being hugely successful, worldwide success, and for America, and then driving towards that purpose that we wanted to achieve there. So that's grit. In our daily life, we think about grit. Think about adapting and overcoming. As a United States Marine Corps veteran, I have to adapt, overcome, persevere, and where there's a problem, figure out a solution. It doesn't matter what the problem is. Figure out the solution. Be creative about it. Be innovative. All those things are hugely important within talking about this aspect of grit. The other thing with grit is that Dr. Angela Duckworth did studies at University of Pennsylvania, and she found that no matter what the demographic was, no matter what the job, circumstances, etc., those people who demonstrated more grit, passion, and perseverance towards long-term goal were more successful than those who were not. And these were longitudinal studies. You could pick up her book, and it's called Grit. This is important to understand. I have been baptized by fire. Over the last year, I have suffered more terrible, bad things happen to me with divorce, homelessness, psychosis, starvation. I'm bipolar. I'm 13 years clean, sober, but still my marriage broke apart because of mania, distant from my children. All these things suck, right? But you know what, man? We all got a story. All of us have a story. This is just my story. And I can assure you that by having God and grit in my life has been allowed me the opportunity to get to the VA, to get the recovery treatment, to get the coping skills for the bipolar. Powerful stuff, right? Finally, we have mental toughness. So we're going to combine God with grit and mental toughness. Mental toughness is being able to overcome things that ordinary people aren't able to overcome. It means getting up at 4 a.m. to catch 2 buses for an hour and a half away in order to get that job that's a good job. It means being in sports and, a kid breaks his arm and within 3 weeks he's back in there wrestling again because he knows that's his sport, that's what he loves. It's a baseball player having Tommy John surgery and still going out there and throwing as best they can. You have sports analogies, you have business analogies. It's worldwide, global, amazing companies that, for instance, you have Amazon, Google, Apple. Well, there's a reason why Apple is where Apple is. There's a reason why Amazon is where it is. When Jeff Bezos, the CEO and founder, first came up with this idea, he was basically taking not library books, but he was taking books and looking to have online selling. That's where it started out here. Now, multi-gazillion billion company. Do you think that if he didn't have mental toughness, he would have been able to grow that company like that? Of course not, right? You have to experience the trials, the tribulations, the baptism by fire in order to get to that better place, in order to get to something that's so special, so unique, so outstanding, so spectacular, so phenomenal that it's just an amazing experience. Tony Robbins, great example. He had serious challenges in his life, but he's a motivational speaker, real tall. Serious challenges in life, poverty, depression. Guess what? Perseverance, right? You see how this plays in? So we have God is going to keep us straight and narrow with our ethics. Grit is going to allow us to have passion, perseverance towards a long-term goal. And mental toughness is going to allow us on a daily basis to be able to achieve things that we might not be able to do. It could be as simple as you have 5 things you want to accomplish, okay? When you accomplish those 5 things 5 days in a row, that's 25 times you've done it. And you can see how it grows exponentially. What I'm reminding all of us is that greatness, success, achievement at a spectacular level does not happen overnight. Plant the seed, reap the harvest. We have to understand that. I'm reminding myself as we talk, consistency is so vital towards this whole endeavor. So I want you to join me on this journey of 30 days. So this will be our 30-day challenge. I want you to take these essentials, put God in your life, get gritty, and demonstrate mental toughness in specific behavioral-based ways that you can demonstrate results. Now remember, it's not just the destination, it's the results, the journey, the path, okay? Over the next 30 days, I want all of us to do as best we can with this and to report out on this YouTube area or Facebook, whatever social media this lands on. Get in there and write what you're doing. Like for God, here's what I did, I prayed. For grit, I wrote down my long-term goal of having my own business, okay? And I began to take action on it. Behavioral based, action oriented. And then mental toughness, I had a challenge and I overcame it by being mentally tough in order to achieve that. So with all of that, we're at about 10 minutes. I am Dane Jarvis, and I am super excited to be with you today to help guide and nurture and mentor and coach you in terms of these essentials, these 3 essentials for success, which are God, grit, and mental toughness. Okay, so be sure to like, share, comment, and put in your specific things that you've done, because we're gonna hold each other accountable for this over the next 30 days. And by the end of the 30 days, my goal is to have some video interviews with everyone to see how it went. I am a Christian, a United States Marine Corps veteran. I have a master's in social work, a master's in public administration, a BA in psychology. I'm a life coach. I'm a life coach, and I'm a motivational speaker. And I'm here to help you get stronger in mind, heart, body, and soul. You be you. God bless. Peace out.